Hey guys, Lex here, back for some more of the Great Ace Attorney. Today, let's just go straight into the testimony. Refuting the accusation. We were the only two people up on that roof deck. Dead or alive, I could swear to that.
If anything happened where we were sitting, don't you think one or the other of us would have noticed?
In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill them out.
The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. I couldn't have possibly opened it.
If you're so sure the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof? I must say that on listening to this testimony, it is somewhat hard to imagine how either witness could have performed any malevolent act on this open rooftop deck without the other noticing forthwith. That's right, you see.
We're innocent, I tell you. Although, logically, of course, the argument falls down if the two of you were in collusion with one another.
What?
Eh?
According to investigations by Scotland Yard, the two witnesses share no common dealings.
Ha! Well, I don't trust coppers any more than I trust the stinking rich.
Something doesn't feel right here. The trial's going in our favor, really. So why do I feel so uneasy? Counsel for the defense, over to you. Your cross-examination, please. Oh yes, my lord. Reading the accusation. Man, I'm almost dead. Just press them all. Should have done that last time. So not no time did the victim, Mr. Mason, climb up to join you on the roof deck? Absolutely not. Dickon.
No question about it, he said. Not at all.
Oh, but yes, of course, I remember seeing them both.
I saw the victim inside the enclosed cabin talking with this man here.
Is that true, Mr. McGilded? Dear me, my lord. At the risk of repeating myself, I boarded the omnibus alone and nodded off inside almost immediately. That's an outright lie. Not a doubt you were engaged in. Let me stop you there, fellow, and ask, do you have any evidence at all? It's all about the evidence in the court these days, so it is. You do well to remember that. I saw you with my own eyes. This is going so well.
Hold it!
Well, it was on the final run of the omnibus at past 10 o'clock in the evening. It would certainly have been quite dark, perhaps too dark to see clearly. Is this some kind of lock?
Is this some kind of joke, he said? Is that what it is?
I have no idea how to voice him. Or perhaps one or the other of you fell asleep briefly. Are you fair dinkum, sir?
Are you serious? That's what he said. It's impossible, I tell you.
I'd give you the keys to the vault if you could fall asleep in that bitter cold. And if you did manage it, your eyelids would freeze shut and you'd never open them again. That's extreme.
It was extreme, I tell you.
And
you had to put up with it because of this man had locked the door.
Any true gent would have unlocked it and let me in when I knocked. I'm dreadfully sorry about that young fella. But you see, I was away with the fairies and I didn't hear you at all.
That's a lie.
I saw right through the glass. You were talking with someone. Now, 'twas a cold night, so it was. People to be seeing things that aren't real in the cold is hardly surprising.
Seeing things!
I believe we reached an impasse here on this particular point.
You.
Don't take it personally now, lad. If I'm a suspect in this case, then it's only fair that you and the others fiend are too. Open and free competition is what capitalist society is all about.
This isn't a competition I would like to be involved in, really.
In any case...
Hold it!
So you've never met the thrice-fired Mason before? Oh, Lumen, no. Not once, never.
He never met that man before, he said he never.
And you, Mr. First, had no prior dealings with the victim either? That's right, sir. Hatters don't have much to do with brickmakers. To be perfectly honest, sir. No, I mention not. You see, how many different ways can I put this? Neither of us have...
Well, now.
Aha.
Excuse me.
Mr. McGilded. Yes, counsel, what can I be doing you for? Did this last statement give you pause for thought somehow? Not the remotest connection? That right now, I wonder. What are you insinuating now? Ah, Mr. Fairplay, 'tis been too long, so it has. I'm not very much mistaken. I believe 'tis fast approaching, is it not, your repayment date? I beg your pardon. Borrowed 20 guineas from me, sir. At an unconscionable rate of interest. You tricked me. It's extortion. Well now, is that a touch of brigadry, is it? The sort of brigadry that might motivate a fellow to pass his crimes off on another. And young Mr. First.
Me, sir? What do you want with me, sir?
You do be making hats for a living, do you not? That there top hat sliding about your head. Is that one of your own creations, is it?
Well, I'm just an apprentice, you understand? I'm learning to find the perfect fit for whatever fine gent walks through the door.
Perfect fit, is it? Well, 'tis a very distinctive design, so it is.
Many customers like it, I tell you. They like a distinctive touch.
Customers, such as thrice-fired Mason.
Ah!
There was a photographic print in the victim submitted an evidence for, my lord. Oh, this, you mean? Yeah, they have the same hat. Can't help me thinking that the poor fellow's hat looks distinctly familiar, wouldn't you say?
Oh.
That's
one of my hats.
That it is, so it seemed the brickmaker was a customer of yours. The sort of customer I'd wager you could have had a wee quarrel over the distinctiveness of the goods. Oh no, sir. Absolutely not, sir. Well, there's really nothing more to add. It wouldn't be right to say that the two fellows here haven't the remotest connection to the victim, you see. I rest my case. You little weasel. He's better this than I am.
Gosh, Mr. McGilded has certainly been thorough in his research, hasn't he?
Please, don't let my little interruption hold up the proceedings. Got a Mad Hatter achievement. Wait a minute, that didn't do anything. Just keep pressing him. Third one, just in case I have to redo it.
Hold it!
You quite certain about that? That skylight was there shut the entire time? I was going to lose my blocks with you in a minute. He's going to lose blocks with you in a minute, that's what he said. Take a look for yourself, go on. Ah, there's a latch. You see, it's shut fast now, just like it was on that night. So it is, of course. A fellow the size of Mr. Mason could lightly break right through it still and all. What? Just look in the size of the thing, you understand. Now you hold on a minute, sir. The size of the thing means nothing. But on its own, let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we? Let's stop biting our cane, shall we? I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when well, I broke wind loudly. I shocked myself with it as it happens. This is an unexpected confession, Mr. First. Oh, I mean to say, well, the point is I tried to open the skylight, you see. But my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Everyone was looking daggers at me. I was as red as a rogue, I did. Are you expecting me to sentence you? No, sir. The point is, the skylight can't be open. I tried.
Wait, that ain't...
When I was inside the cabin, that cabin of shame.
Excuse me!
Do you have something to say about that, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade. It opens. The skylight. That's what we're talking about, right? All of them skylights open dead easy. More easily than you can load that weapon. That's a lie, I tell you, otherwise when I broke wind I can't do it from the inside, you mug. Oh! Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof deck of one of them drags. And I had a great haul, I had purses coming out of my ears. Miss Lestrade, this is not the forum to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities. Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I lifted the last bloke's first, he got wise to me. All four of them surrounded me so I couldn't pop off the bus and leg it. So what I did was I used the skylight, opened the catch and jumped right through. What? Yeah, the catch from them skylights is on the top side. That's why you can't open them from the cabin. The skylight opens from the roof deck. Bailiff, climb up to the roof of the omnibus at once and verify the witness's claims. Yeah, there's a little latch there. Oh. Oh, my hat. You see? Order. So it appears that the street girl's statement is quite true. I don't believe it. The skylight opens. And from the roof deck. Mr. Naruto! This could be the clue we've been looking for. Well, counsel for the defense, please continue with the cross-examination. Yes, my lord. So the skylight opens. Perhaps I should investigate for myself. Oh, I almost pressed Y again. So the skylight was fastened shut before. But now the catch has been undone. We should be able to open it. You can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure. There's a lamp in the closed cabin, so I'm sure the witness would have been able to see quite clearly. Wait, maybe a look from the inside? Ah. You had him.
Yes, it does open very wide, does it? Wide enough to kick someone like you through, certainly, Mr. Naruto.
Why someone like me? What is it?
Look, just here. Look at this.
That's without question.
It's blood.
Or why would there be a bloodstain there?
Surely. Can't be unrelated to the case, can it?
Okay. Get in somewhere. Oh. That's the proof.
Objection!
On the night of the question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach, and immediately afterwards, the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin below. Those are the facts, and the irrefutable proof remains clearly visible in the omnibus that stands before us today in this very courtroom. What? That's other humbug. You can't possibly have any evidence.
Oh, you can't. I mean, we didn't do it, I tell you. It's impossible.
Irrefutable proof here in this courtroom. Counsel. My lord, I believe everyone in this would appreciate a little clarification here. Where exactly within the omnibus is this evidence to which you allude? Will you point out what it is that proves that the victim fell from the roof deck through the skylight? Just showed it. Come on, here.
Got it!
Got it.
By Jupiter, is that blood? This bloodstain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open. What? And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening.
Oh my.
And so it follows that Mr. McGilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime. No! Order. Hold it. But the blood could have sprayed up there when the fellow was stabbed inside the cabin. And only found its way into that particular spot of the sky. Sure, that would be very convenient. And let's keep in mind that the skylight can only be unfastened from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't be able to open it now, would I?
But there's no way to know for certain, is there? If the jet really fell through the skylight, I mean.
Why don't you have a good look at the floor in the cabin beneath the two seats, Mr. First? This is a little too plain if you see. There's an aftermath that shows the poor fellow dropped from a fair height. Right there, so it is. What? No. But it can't be. It's all lies!
Hold it!
My fellow jury members, I think we can all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we?
I believe we can, sir. It's clear to me now where the filthy rubbish can be found in the courtroom.
So they thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they? I won't tolerate any of the guild's carriages being sullied with blood. I won't tolerate it.
Oh, I always knew that nice gentleman who gave us the delightful park couldn't have done such a thing.
On three, then, everyone. 1, 2.
Objection!
No! Why?
He was so close.
A chilling performance, Mr. McGilded. Oh, and what would you be referring to there now, Lord Van Zykes? A bloodstain on the frame of the skylight. Such evidence is null and void. What? Why? For one extremely simple reason. That smear of blood never existed.
Objection!
What? What? What are you talking about? It's there for all to see. It's clearly blood.
Objection!
I personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb. So I could state with absolute surety. No such smear of blood existed in this carriage. But, at least, not until this trial began. But, are you suggesting, Lord Van Sykes, that the stain of blood was fabricated, my lord? Yes. And while the court had been in session... What? What a palaver. I must say I didn't expect such crude reasoning from a prosecutor of your standing, Lord Van Sykes. But I'm Magnus McGilded, a fellow known all over the capital for his fine contributions to public life. I don't take kindly to slander, and I'll fight to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling off the tongue of the Reaper of the Bailey. Mr. McGilded, I realize this is your first appearance in court as the accused. However, I am well aware of your involvement behind the scenes in a great many affairs of dubious nature. You're very adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens that a case you're involved in is investigated, you adapt the facts. Adapt the facts? What does that even mean? Forged evidence? When you wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGilded's, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of the crime, bribing witnesses. I toast your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir. Lord Van Sykes, this will not do, to be sure. Will it now, counsel? Oh, no. I think it's fair to say that this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. The blood on the skeleton exists, you say? But if you will all cast your minds back, is it not true that the omnibus there has been in the courtroom the entire time? How could anyone possibly have put a smear of blood in it without the world and his wife seeing? Isn't that right now, counsel? It's true. The omnibus has been in full view the entire time that court has been in session. My learned friend. You're stating your own opinion on this matter, in your own words. As you wish. Someone have tampered with the omnibus during this trial, if you're asking me, I think. Yeah. I'm not gonna lose points. I don't want to lose points. As a defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate for the defendant as best as I can. But still, I feel as though there's something even more important at stake here. There's no evidence to suggest that the defendant did as my learned friend suggests. However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the alleged tampering, there is one possibility. Oh. Good gracious. Explain yourself, counsel. Yes, there is. It seems my learned Nipponese friend has no intention of running from this deceit. Deceit? I'm sure everyone still remembers clearly the recess that we were forced to take. As a result of a smoke grenade fired by the witness currently in the stand, Miss Gina Lestrade.
What's going on? Be careful, Mr. Howard, you hurt your face.
Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. I hereby call it an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant and guards stay clear of the courtroom. The courtroom was filled with smoke, and everyone was thrown into confusion. All of us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval, under the veil of smoke and all the chaos, it could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus. He's gonna say, hold it.
Are you wise? What are you trying to pull, you rotten, feckless gouger?
Feckless gouger?
You're supposed to be defending me. 'Tis a wicked plot. 'Tis a plot to undermine me, so it is.
Objection!
Whatever you think this is, it changes nothing. The facts are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus. Inconsistencies such as, to start with, the storage compartment underneath the rear passenger seat. When the police investigated the omnibus, this compartment was full of the driver's items. Secondly, we have the smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. As I have said, that was not present at the start of the trial this morning. Unfortunately, Lord Van Sykes, no one is able to corroborate your claims. That's true. When the omnibus was first wheeled out, both the storage compartment and the skylight were shut. Accordingly, I am afraid to say we cannot establish with any certainty if this evidence is a result of tampering or not. Indeed, my lord, no doubt there was not a single person who saw fit to verify such things.
What do you think?
Sorry?
About the omnibus. Is there anything else unusual about the omnibus?
I have an inkling. Not really, but that's my choice. My lord. Yes, counsel. There's one further inconsistency. A mark that surely could not have been present at the start of the trial. What?
What the devil's name are you going on say now?
If you dare betray me, you little maggot, you better start watching your back. Silence, McGilded. The court awaits the defense's clarification. Grr. This trial keeps swinging one way and another, and then the other. I have no idea what's the truth and what's deception. What am I supposed to believe here? I shall have to ask you to elaborate, counsel. Where exactly is the alleged mark you claim to appear at some point during the trial? I think it's this thing. Because I don't remember this.
Got it!
You consider the victim fell through the skylight onto the floor in the cabin. You would certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. But as far as I recall, this bloodstain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus was first brought into the courtroom. Good lord. I knew that was weird. I thought I looked at everything, and I don't remember that being on the floor. Yes, I do believe you're correct, counsel. Well said. Although, as advocate for the defense, one might say that was a very careless slip of the tongue. I believe that bloodstain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. But if the question is whether the evidence is genuine, or whether it was unlawfully fabricated by someone, I feel compelled to admit that there's at least a possibility that the evidence is fake. This trial is over. Mr. McGilded, I've done everything I possibly can to cooperate with the court, but it's all over now. But you're the defendant. It's over, I tell you. Huh? Memory, recollection, what people think they saw, it's all nonsense. Facts are what counts, and the fact is that bloodstain is there now. Well... Wow. Am I gonna have a guilty person as my client? On the first case? That's crazy. Well, third case. And over the course of this desperate trial, long and extremely drawn out as it has been, that good-for-nothing Reaper of the Bailey has failed to present any decisive evidence at all. Scandalized, so I am. I'd rather believe I thought better of Lord Van Sykes.
Well, my lord.
I must concur with the defendant. The unaffirmed recollections of an individual cannot stand as evidence. At this moment in time, the particular bloodstain in question is very much in existence. And in the absence of any credible method by which to prove its alleged previous non-existence, I regret to say that it would be improper for this trial to continue. Your lordship can't be serious. Lord Van Sykes, what is your position? Prosecution, my lord, has no further witnesses or evidence to present. Very well. In that case, as I believe we have explored every possible avenue in this matter, I shall proceed with my adjudication. As a formality, I am of course obliged to confirm with the defense first. What formality?
All things stand at the moment, it would seem, that Mr. McGilded will be found not guilty.
Yes.
Which would mean we've won.
Is that really the right outcome here? Is it really alright for the trial to come to an end now, with all these unexplained inconsistencies? Counsel for the defense, your closing statement, please. Yes, my lord. The defendant believes. I am here in this courtroom today to advocate for the defense of my client, Mr. McGilded. However, at this moment in time, I cannot in all good conscience attest fully to the defendant's innocence. What are you saying, man? Without any question, there is no conclusive evidence to prove that the defendant is guilty. However, there is also no conclusive evidence to prove that he is innocent. Good. Good gracious me. Order, order. This is unprecedented behavior, counsel. A defense lawyer calling the accused innocence into question? Are you sound of mind? Oh, 'twas a grand decision to appoint you as my lawyer, so it was a grand decision. What? I must say, I didn't expect quite such an exciting spectacle at the end there, but still. Here, have this for your troubles. Your job here is done, fella, and some fine work you've done, so you have. What do you mean? It's just the right honorable gentleman so succinctly put it afore. The trial can't go on anymore. And your closing statement there was, how did he put it now? Nothing more than a formality. I really don't know what to make of this. Was the evidence we've seen genuine, or was it fake?
His lordship would be fuming. Any unsightly rubbish should be disposed of properly, as I said.
That stinking rich are always guilty of something. You, mark my words.
I feel terribly ashamed that I ever doubted that lovely man who gave us that lovely park.
Now that the proceedings have unfolded in this way, I am compelled to declare the premature end to this trial. Furthermore, the court must accept the defendant's plea.
Hold it.
I thank you kindly, my lord. I hereby pronounce the verdict of this court.
Objection!
But we still haven't determined if the bloodstain of Omnibus is genuine or not. We don't know if the witnesses are telling the truth or a pack of lies. We have no idea about the truth. Lord Van Sykes. Lord, the case made by the prosecution was flawed, plain and simple. If indeed Omnibus presented as evidence was tampered with, the prosecution is at fault for allowing such disgraceful perversion of justice to take place. My sincerest apologies, my lord.
Objection!
But wait. When we were evacuated from the courtroom, Lord Van Sykes ordered the evidence to be secured. I'm afraid the prosecution cannot shun responsibility in this matter. That's so unfair. The culpability of the defendant has not, at the present time, been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment. Or, whatever. Innocent until proven guilty, I guess. Well, Lord Van Sykes, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fella, I couldn't have asked for a better defense. You mean to tell me this has all been a grand waste of time? This is the law of the land, my good man. If you'd like to pursue this matter further, you can always go ahead and try to change the law. Magnus McGilded. Good grief, you've more to say to me, have you? Just one thing, a warning. This is far from over. Oh, is he gonna be the big bad? The bad guy? Well, something to be looking forward to, then. I hereby pronounce the defendant, Mr. Magnus McGilded. Oh man, is there gonna be confetti? Confetti?
Yeah, confetti. Oh, and fireworks. Damn. Can't believe it. This is an outrage. They should have examined the evidence more.
What are you talking about? The man's been cleared. He's innocent. With the courtroom in pandemonium for the second time that day, the judge delivered his verdict, and my first ever trial in Great Britain came to an abrupt end, with the defendant being found not guilty, ostensibly a victory for us. "18th of February, 5:14 p.m. The Old Bailey. Defendants Antechamber."
It certainly was a long trial.
Ah, yes, it was.
Your first ever trial in foreign soil and your first victory. It was a wonderful performance. Heartfelt congratulations.
And to you, Mrs. Sato. Thank you for your assistance. I suppose we should be happy. The trouble is, we're still completely in the dark about what actually happened.
Well, we didn't have enough time.
But isn't it wrong? I mean, who was actually responsible for Mr. Mason's death? We don't even know that.
The sole aim of the defense is to obtain a verdict that exonerates the defendant. Carried out your duty to perfection.
Aye, that you did. Mr. McGilded. Ah, and the girl was with them too. Well, it seems the stories are true. Oh, what stories? About the 6 enormous fireworks they do be letting off when there's a verdict of not guilty. I'm sure yous might have seen them now. Spectacular, wouldn't you say? Yes, definitely. I heard it was a sight to behold, and to be sure it was. And I view the thanks, I suppose, for having an opportunity to see it. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm not sure I really did anything. What on earth are you saying, fella? How did I walk out of there a free man, then? I don't suppose it wasn't so much as to me as down to your planning. You're a straight-talking fella, aren't you? I must say, you had me astray in the head there once or twice. But you're young and headstrong. 'Tis water under the bridge.
Congratulations, Mr. McGilded, on having your name cleared.
But nothing's resolved. There's only one thing that matters to me. Oh? Aye. They've all seen that I didn't do that odious and obstinate deed. 'Tis grand, is it not? I suppose it is. Now the fine fellows of Scotland Yard can take matters in hand, sort out any wee details. They'll see it for what it is. They'll get to the truth. I have absolute faith in them, so I have. After all, I do be providing a good number of their wages with all the taxes I pay. It's not that funny. So then, as we agreed aforehand, 1,000 guinea for your troubles, fella. Oh, no, I couldn't possibly accept that much. Be west. You're a humble people, are ya? You from the east? Well, if you insist. But have this. Still in all, you will deserve a reward. What? You should have taken the 1,000. Mr. Magnus McGilded. Everything is ready, sir. If you'd like to follow me into the courtroom. To the courtroom? What's this, officer? 'Tis sooner than I was led to believe. I hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There are some changes to the schedule. Well, I must be making tracks now. 'Tis time for the inspection. Sorry, what inspection? You're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself.
They're going to examine it again, now.
Naturally, I'm under no obligation to take part in any more of this matter now. But as an upstanding member of London society, I do be doing my best to help where I can. It is a gentleman's duty, so it is. Oh. So then, fare thee well. 'Twas an absolute pleasure meeting yous. I hope you have a whale of a time while you're studying here in Great Britain. There he goes, a free man. Oh, I forgot she was here too.
Don't move.
Whereas I want to say, get a move on. Surely it does take forever to load that thing. Miss Lestrade, would you mind putting that thing down?
You're a grown-up,
Sorry?
and I ate all grown-ups. Ah, you there. Naughty, naughty, running off like that.
Is this some kind of picnic? Who's this little girl now?
I'm taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Huh. Oh, do you want to play? You won't beat me. Grr.
Excuse me, but who are you?
Oh, good day to you. I'm, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine.
Inventor?
Well, normal smoke grenades are so dull, don't you agree? White, white, and more white. If you have to be shrouded in smoke, it could at least be a pretty color, I thought to myself.
Do we have to be shrouded in smoke, though? Oh?
I just took my eyes off it for a moment while I was changing into a different omnibus, and she pinched it. Luckily, I fitted it with a telegraphic beacon.
What? I'll tell her what's a what? I have no idea what this girl's talking about.
Anyway, you're coming with me now. Back to my laboratory. Ah, what for? Apologize, silly. To my technician. What? You mean, say sorry? You must say sorry when you've done something wrong. Surely an adult has told you that before. An adult? I don't listen to no adults. Come on then, follow me. Fine. Have it your way. Oh good, you see, I knew you'd want to do the right thing in the end.
I'm fairly sure what she wants is not to get shot by that massive gun of yours.
So, I'll be leaving then. Bye-bye. I'm sorry for all the fuss.
Oh, my voice is gonna die. Holy shit. She was a lively one. So happy to suggest Sasato, the deepest voice.
Well, do you think perhaps we ought to be on our way now too?
Yes, you're right. But where to?
Oh,
We haven't had the time to find a place to stay. No sooner had we arrived in London than we had to rush here. All our traveling cases are still with the bailiff.
I was originally planning to spend the day in search of lodgings.
But at this late in the day, I'm afraid we may be out of luck.
Don't worry though, I have a plan. If the worst comes to the worst, I've heard of a lovely park where you can spend the night.
Please tell me you're not thinking of McGilded Park.
I know it might be a little chilly at this time of year, but our youthfulness will see us through.
I'm not so sure about that. I think a midwinter London night will freeze a young person's solid just as easily as an elder one.
Oh dear, that doesn't sound agreeable.
I'm starting to regret turning Mr. McGilded down. That 1,000 guineas would have paid for a lovely warm room or mansion. Yeah, idiot. And so, the trial to determine my worthiness for the study tour was over by the end of the first day in London. However, as we were soon to learn, there were more trying times ahead. Just as the Reaper of the Bailey had warned, the case was far from over. Huh? Uh-oh.
What's going on? Get the fire brigade! Water! Bring water, quick! What the? How did this happen?
I don't know, sir. By the time I got here, it was already engulfed.
No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating. No. Oh, good God.
Oh shit.
There's someone in there. This can't be.
This can't be. Nice one. Murder. Well, we just watched the guy burn to death, so I think that's a good place to stop. Looks like we'll start the 4th episode next time, so don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.
This can't be.